During our session, attendance link will be provided in the chat box. All participants are required to fill it. The e-certificate will be sent to your email immediately. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the webinar, we will play the corporate video of Faculty of Science and Mathematics, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi and very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Faculty of Science and Mathematics, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to Global Webinar Education Series with our Honorable Speaker, Dr. Siew. So before we begin our webinar, I will introduce a brief biography of Dr. Siew. Dr. Siew is from Taiping. A brief on the education route of Dr. To. He received his early education at Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina Pui Choi, Kamunting for his primary school. He then underwent secondary school at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Kamunting and Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan King Edward VII. Dr. To is an alumni of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, where he did his bachelor degree with Bachelor of Education Science from 2004 until 2008, and he did his Master of Education Physics also in UPSI from 2008 until 2010. Dr. To, then in 2015, Dr. To received his Doctor of Philosophy degree in Science Education from the Hong Kong Institute of Education, which recently renamed into the Education University of Hong Kong. Currently, Dr. To is a senior lecturer at the Department of Physics, Faculty of Science and Mathematics, UPSI, and he also holds other position, that is the coordinator of Quality System Unit in Quality Management Division and also as the lead auditor in UPSI, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. So in research area, Dr. To actively doing research in the field of physics and education, which focus on student-centered learning via educational technology. And he strongly believes that with the help of state-of-the-art technology, mobile devices, particularly smartphones, have the ability to work as data logging tools for students to perform hands-on STEM activities and scientific investigation. So that was a brief history on Dr. To. Ladies and gentlemen, before I call upon Dr. To give his sharing, I would like to invite all of you for the photography session. So ladies and gentlemen, please on your camera so that we can have photo with our speaker today. Ladies and gentlemen, please on your camera. We still have a few seconds. Please on your camera before we have our photography session. On count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. 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 Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your cooperation. So we continue with our speaker today. Without further ado, with a great pleasure, I now invite Dr. Siew to present his talk with topic Innovative Use of Free Mobile Applications for Education and Scientific Investigation. Please welcome Dr.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to Dr. Suriya for introducing me in this section. Okay, I would like to share my screen. Okay, now I will go to the slides. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, thanks for Faculty Science and Mathematics for arranging the Global Webinar Education Series 2 2021 for me. Okay, today, I'm going to present the innovative use of free mobile application for education and scientific investigation. Okay, my name is To Siew. Okay, as mentioned by Dr. Suriya, I'm alumni from UPSI. Okay, today I try to divide it into several sections. The first is the introduction. Okay, the second is the application of guided learning using free mobile apps. Okay, the third is experience the guided learning using free mobile apps. Then I will present some example for free educational mobile apps that can be applied in in O level of educations. After that, I will show you some related published journal. Okay, then related conferences, exhibitions, and then newsletter. So I think you can download the notes in the chatting box. Dr. Afiq, uh, is it the audience can download the notes in the chatting box? Okay. So now I would like to start the guided inquiry learning. So guided inquiry learning can be applied in many learning environments. For example, innovative use of free mobile apps. okay, theme park or playground, okay, magic in science. So why I will choose the guided inquiry learning? Okay, based on this article, okay, we have 4 stages, which is the first one is the confirmation inquiry. Confirmation inquiry, student confirm a principle through an activity when the results are known in advance. So in this first stage, actually, student is doing some experiment like a cookbook experiment. So student can just follow the procedure in the lab manual, and then they try to get the result already they note. Okay, for the second stage is the structure inquiry. Okay, student investigate a teacher presented question, which is the teacher need to have a guided question for the student, but the procedure is provided. Okay, procedure is provided, but student may not know how to what is the result in the final. Okay, so for the third stage is the guided inquiry. Okay, guided inquiry, teacher or instructor need to give a guided question to students, and then students need to design their procedure, their own design and selected procedure. This is a more to like final year project, which is a student will going to think about what they want to do. Okay, so they will start to plan and then start to obtain the material and then design their experiment. After that, they going to get their result. So this in this stage, the teacher is more to facilitate the students. Okay. Okay, this is the activity, okay, mentioned by Bell in simplified instruction, inquiry instruction. So you may know that some of the activity can be conducted in confirmation, structured inquiry, guided inquiry, and open inquiry. So at the right hand side, okay, at the right hand side, you will see that so the first stage, okay, first level is we provide everything. At second stage, we are giving the question and method. And third stage, we only give the question. And the fourth stage, student need to do their own. Okay, if you are interested more about inquiry learning, then you can read to these 3 articles. Uh, Actually, we have many kinds of inquiry learning proposed by other researchers. However, I select the Bell as they are more structured to what is the inquiry learning should have. Okay, as I mentioned in the earlier, learning environment can be variety. So we can have the learning science in playground, okay, learning science in theme or amusement park. Okay, we also can have the magic in science. Okay, for inquiry learning, okay, we can have the more proper arrangement. However, I I suggest for teachers, when you want to conduct a certain I call a new method or for student as a new method. So we need to brief the student about what is the guided inquiry learning. Okay, for example, module, kits, or activities. If we are applying, for example, in my case, applying the free mobile apps using the smartphone, so we need to start with exploring the function and built-in sensor with the free mobile apps. We cannot directly ask students, you just do it yourself, because they don't know what need to start. After that, they need to have the experience, the science activity by designing a simple experiment through guided inquiry modules. Okay. After that, after they experience the science activity or science experiments, okay, we must give the chance for students to present and to argue their result. Okay, we can using a mirrorcast wireless display device. Then a student can display their own experiment, their design, and then their procedure. Okay, and then they can have their own reflection. Okay, last we may give some questionnaire to them to do some research. Okay, so I would like since this is more to using the smartphone, using the smartphone for applying the free mobile apps. So I would like to introduce some built-in sensor which you might know or you might know or you might don't know. So actually, in our smartphone, there are many sensors. There are many sensors. Okay. So for the basic one, okay, for example, we have the compass. We have the orientation sensor. Okay, accelerometer, and then GPS. Okay, voice. Okay, sound sensor. Okay, light sensor, magnetic sensor, camera sensor, and then the wireless environment. So do you think have any other sensor? Would you mind to just participate in my talk? You can put in some other sensor may have in your smartphone into the chatting box. Okay. Do you think have other sensor or not? Beside display here. Okay. So what do you think? Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, beside this sensor I show in this slide. Okay, what other kind of sensor may have in your smartphone? Okay, in your smartphone. Other kinds of sensor built in your smartphone.
The one, Dr. To, the one that measure our steps maybe? That one?
Measure?
What we call the one that measure our steps. Speedometer.
Okay,
What we call
okay.
it?
Okay, guna saja. Dr. Fatima guna saja. Okay, yes, very good. We have a gyroscope. Gyroscope to stabilize our motion. Actually, gyroscope is to stabilize the motion. Okay, beside that, what do you have in your smartphone? More actually, it's more advanced. We call it more advanced. So okay, any other sensor? Okay, never mind. So one of the example is a gyroscope. Okay, gyroscope is one of the sensor. Yes, very good. Fingerprint. Okay, fingerprint is the quite new sensor in the smartphone, but not all the smartphone have the fingerprint, right? Yes. Okay, beside that, we also may have, I use may have temperature sensor in your smartphone. Okay, if you, for example, I think iPhone or Samsung Notes or higher or more expensive, I call it more expensive smartphone, they may have the temperature sensor inside. Okay, eye detect, very good. Okay, beside that, we also have the pressure sensor. If your smartphone have pressure sensor, then you can do some other activity like going like climb a hill, and then you can detect the pressure with a different height. Okay, different height. We can detect the pressure. Okay, very good. Okay, thanks. Okay, so walking tracker. Okay, now walking tracker actually they are using already present here. For example, accelerometer and then and then the GPS as well. Okay, biometric, yes, very good. Okay, so I go on the next. Very good. So now you already more more familiar with your smartphone. Okay. So in the next slide, I would like to ask your if your smartphone had more space, okay, you may install. You may click it and install. For example, you may install the sensor box for Android. Sensor box for Android. In this, if you are Android, then sensor box for Android, you can know how many sensors in your smartphone. Okay. Beside that, you also can install the Fizik toolbox. Okay, sensor suite. Okay. If you want more more high tech or high end software, free mobile software, you can test the Spark Wheel. Spark Wheel actually is developed by the engineer in the Pasco company. Pasco company. So in this Spark Wheel, we have they have the iOS one, which is the you can download the apps.apple, which if you are using the iOS, okay, you may download the Android one or play.google.com. Okay, now you can during my presentation you may try to install it. After that, we can test it out. How many sensor and how to do the activity in your school, in the university. Okay, install and test it. Beside the sensor box for Android, we also can download some sound sensor like tone generator, which is can produce sound, produce certain frequency of sound. And then beside that, we can you can also download the Advanced Spectrum Analyzer Pro. This one we can detect for time being what is the frequency of focus. Okay, it will display in your smartphone. Okay, so now I would like to show you if you install the sensor box for Android, it will almost similar like the left hand side. If you download the Z device text apps, then it will more look like this. Okay, so now I would like to show you the movie, how are going.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another PhoneSavvy.com application review. Today we'll be reviewing Sensor Box for Android. I just found this application on the Play Store and I found it very useful, so wanted to share it with you. This is what the app looks like, Sensor Box for Android. Make sure you download it, and what it does is it takes all of your phone's sensors and puts them into one toolbox for you to have quick and easy access to all of those sensors. So these are the different sensors that are built into your phone, and you can access those to check the current conditions for each sensor. Like for example, proximity sensor lets me know how close my face is to the phone. So you can see as I move my hand away, that little plant grows. I bring it back closer, it goes down. So you can check pressure, magnetic sensor.
Okay. So this is the, if you install the sensor box for Android, it will look like this lah. So you can test it out. If you have a pressure sensor, if you have a temperature sensor, for example, in this smartphone, it don't have the temperature sensor. Actually, the temperature and pressure sensor, not all the smartphones have this kind of sensor. Okay, so I go to the next slide. Okay, so do you have any questions about the free mobile apps which can perform some scientific investigation in real, in real experiment? Okay, after that, yes.
Dr. To, I just want to ask a question about before the smartphone apps. Is it okay if I ask about the guided learning?
Yeah, sure,
Guided
sure.
online learning? Okay.
Okay.
So previously you have shown us about the arrangement, which there are 3 steps when we conduct guided inquiry learning. So which of the steps that we as a educator or as a teacher should embed the concept exposure, and which of the step that we can do the assessment on the students?
Okay, thanks for your question. You mean the assessment part, right? Okay. If assessment part, I go back to this one. Okay. So if I refer to the this figure, okay, if we are doing the assessment part, if the assignment have a low, I call it the marks is not high, the marks of the assessment is not high, then you may apply for just a confirmation, which is they are more to understand in taxonomy problem. Okay, if the second part they may second and third, which is the structure inquiry and guided inquiry, is more to the application. Okay, if a more application, then our for setting the assessment, then we can give more marks to students as they are perform more. Particularly for the guided inquiry, because students need to create their own procedure. Okay, they are not just follow what the lab manual give to them. Okay, for open inquiry, okay, actually if the assessment for the open inquiry is more highest, then we can set it as a final assessment. For students to do something something great by their own. So they need to design their own question, their own procedure, and then their own result. They carry out the experiment and then to give the result. And then as a teacher or educator, we must know that if we are using the open inquiry, we need to what we want to have is not the exact result. They must have a actual value same with the theoretical value. Okay, we must see how students are going to argue their experiment, why they don't get the result, the theoretical value. For example, they can see some limitation. For example, due to the environment. For example, they're doing a sound experiment, but they try to the environment is not suitable. For example, if they're doing their house and then they have the brother run around beside them, then they have some we call limitation. So if he or she can state the problem, then actually we can give more marks to them because they know how to solve the problem. Okay, they how to reflect their own learning. Okay, maybe after that they in the future suggestion, he or she state that he will find more quiet paces, right? Then this is a very good part of assessment. Okay, is it okay? Is it I'm able to answer your questions?
Dr. Tu, saya tanya.
Yes.
Dr. Tu, saya sebenarnya saya dah lost. Apa kaitannya tools tu tadi dengan inquiry tu?
Sorry, Doctor?
Apa ni kaitan tools tadi, tools yang kita dapat dekat apa ni dekat telefon tu, lepas tu tiba-tiba ada inquiry tu, macam saya tak boleh nak sambung, tak faham.
Tak faham nak sambung. Mana satu apps mana satu itu? Itu boleh personal workshop tu.
Apps tu dengan tiba-tiba ada inquiry pending tu, macam mana ya? Apa yang tu nak cerita sebenarnya?
Okay. Okay. Apa yang ceritakan ya? Actually, this. Okay, we want to use the smartphone built-in sensor to conduct some real experiment. Okay, some real experiment. This is not the simulation part. Simulation experiment, or they are a play video or video experiment. They can use the smartphone to conduct the real experiment. For example, if they are interested into want to know the speed of sound, for example, speed of sound. So speed of sound as a theoretical value is 343. So in one of my published journal in 2014, we can using the smartphone to detect the speed of sound. For example, like this. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. So for biology, for example, biology, actually the student can use the smartphone to detect their heartbeat. Okay, in Form 5 syllabus in Malaysia Form 5 syllabus, we have one activity which is we want to know the heartbeat. In school, we are using our hand to detect the heartbeat, right? But now we can using the smartphone to detect the heartbeat. For example, they can starting, resting, intermediate, they are walking the staircase. After that, they're running or doing some more exercise than to detect the heartbeat. So this is a part of the science activity they can have in their house. For example, during this MCO, they also can conduct that kind of activity or experiment. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. So I could. Yes.
Dr. To, we have two participants here who raised their hand.
Okay.
Miss Roslinda Mustafa. Do you have any question to Dr. To?
No.
No.
Okay. Never
No
mind.
questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. The stage is yours,
Okay.
Dr. To.
Okay, so I will continue as I'm my major. I'm doing in science education, but now I'm in physics department. After that, I will show some example in the education. During I present the table of free educational mobile apps. Okay, in that part I will discuss some you can apply the chemical. Okay, you can apply chemistry, or you can apply in biology. But starting, I will start with the physics in motion. So physics in motion. Okay, for example, if we want to do some experiment, okay, experiment in lab, okay, as I mentioned that we can do some real experiment. For example, we can do in lab, we can do the experiment in playground. After that, I will show you example. Okay, I will show you example how my student doing the experiment. And then I also conduct some theme park physics program during my PhD study in Hong Kong. So after that, I also can show you that some example they already sell the program to the public, which means they go to the theme park and then do the experiment, do the biology activity in the theme park. After that, I will show you. So experience the guided inquiry using the free mobile app. Okay, this is the example doing in the lab. Okay, doing in the lab. After that, I will show you something doing outside a lab. Okay, indoor activity. Okay, we can use a simple material for new learners. Okay, this is an advanced spectrum. Okay, we can do the activity in the lift. Actually, this is outdoor lah. In the picture left-hand side, they are doing some sound experiments in the lab. Because lab we can having more quiet place. Okay. okay, some of the indoor activity by the student. This is the student presentation.
Press the ruler perpendicular to my phone, and then I use the magnet. If the magnet is nearer, then the reading is higher. Like this.
Frekuensi sound generator, kita tetapkan frekuensi dia sama untuk kita semua, iaitu 220 dan volume tak sama. So kita orang play je. Jarak dia berbeza, kita orang ikut 30 lepas 90. Kita start dengan 30.
Okay, this is the indoor. Okay, outdoor activity, I already give some assignment to the student, and then they conduct the experiment outdoor. Okay, for example, they fix the smartphone on the swing. Okay, after that they need to clean it up lah. Okay, this activity I published in 2018 in Teaching Science.
I drive a sports car just to prove real big baller, cause I made $1 million and I spend it on girls and shoes.
And release this week.
You don't ever wanna step off that roller coaster and be all alone. You don't wanna ride the bus like this, never know who to trust like this. You don't wanna be stuck up on that stage singing, stuck up on that stage singing. Oh, I know a sad soul, sad soul.
So from here you can get the simple harmonic motion lah, simple harmonic motion.
Repeat step 2 to 5 using different mass, which is 48 kilograms.
Okay, they can changing the mass.
Sad soul.
Okay, this is one of the example using the smartphone. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Dr. I have
Yes.
a question.
Yeah, sure.
So, the video that you showed just now, students are sitting on a swing. They are measuring, conducting their simple harmonic motion experiment.
Yes.
So, what parameter actually are they measuring?
What parameter they are measuring? So
What do they measure actually?
this is their thinking lah. So I will open to them. For example, what they want to change. For example, they want to change a different angle. Okay, they want to set the different angle from the small angle to high angle. From the experiment for the video showing just now, they want to change without max and with max. So is it have any difference during the simple harmonic motion? Actually, the idea is they need to give the actually the idea we will get the result. They are not so exact what will happen, because we must know that if they are holding the smartphone like this, there is a many possible rotation may happen in during the experiment. Okay, so I can show you the journal I published in 2018 if you interested. Wait.
Okay, it's okay. Never mind. Maybe you can show me later. You can continue with your presentation.
Okay, I can. Never mind. We got a lot of time.
Okay.
We still got a lot of time. Okay, so in the publication, okay, I have one publication in a playground. Okay, in 2018. Okay, so I give the link, copy the link address, and then I put here. So if you are interested, then you can download. And in the paper I mentioned how to change a variable. Okay, what they need, what measurement they can have. Okay.
So is it meaning that when the the part that where students put the phone on the swing, do they measure the time or do they actually measure the mass difference or the way the
Okay, this is depend on the student because they need
mass?
to design their own experiment. Okay, from my journal actually is measure the G using
Measure the G.
yes, measure the G.
So
Measure
then
the
they will have to
gravitation.
verify the value of G, is it?
Yes. They verify the G, but they but the percentage difference is quite high. So they need to mention why.
I see.
Why the difference is high, because this is in our real life. Okay, we are not doing something in lab. More actually more
Okay.
accurate. Okay, so they can do some. They can more argument lah. Okay, they can have more argument about this.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
welcome. Okay, so I continue. Very good. We can have some Q&A during the presentation. It's okay. So F5. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is the smartphone. So beside that, okay, I would like to give some example. Beside we can do some experiment in playground. We also can do some experiment in the theme park. Okay, this is my future project in Malaysia. Even though I already have the experience in Hong Kong, but this is my future research. But today I will show you some very surface one. Okay, if you interested to this, you may read out this as this journal published in 2015. Okay, so I'm doing some experiment in a theme park. Okay, so student can have some result from it. For example, okay, I give you one of the example in this paper is the roller coaster. So students are wearing one we call data logger, but now we can apply the smartphone. So they need to put the vest and then zip the smartphone in front of them. Okay, for example, they zip in front of them, and then they sit on this roller coaster. Why we need to put on some special vest? Because we want to make sure it is not falling out, the smartphone. So once they sit on it, and then it start to measure. So the smartphone must have the pressure sensor for you to conduct this kind of experiment. Must have the pressure sensor. So this is the starting point. Okay, starting point is this partner A. Starting is here. Then they move to A. After that, go to B, and then go to C, and then go to D. After that, they go back to the original places. If we apply the conservation of energy, we notice that actually the energy will transform to others, right? To others form. For example, heat and sound. So we cannot get we in our real life we cannot get from starting is this high, this high, okay, and then end with the same level. That's not impossible in our daily life. So you will notice that there's some loss, okay, some loss due to the not loss, some transform to other form of energy, okay, like heat and sound, and then they will go slowly moving down, moving down. Okay, so now I show you some biology. Beside that, beside this kind of or I show you example first or video first. Never mind, I'll show you video first. After video, and then I show you some others activity like in bio. They also can apply in theme park. Okay, so this is the video. Student, they put on the special vest and smartphone in front of them. Oh, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we wait for Dr. To for a while. If you have any question to ask Dr. To, maybe right after this or later on, you can type the question in chat box, or else you can unmute your microphone. While we are waiting for Dr. To, I would like to remind all participants to fill in the attendance form in the chat box, and please make sure your details and the emails are correctly inserted, because your e-certificate will be emailed to you immediately. Okay, Dr. To is here. Dr. To, are you okay?
Okay, sorry, some technical problem happened here. Okay, so is it okay? Is it can listen to me? Yes, right? You can see the movie or not? Video or not? Okay, so this is the example. Okay, this is the example I apply in the theme park. During that time, I work as a SRA for to help my supervisor to conduct this project. Okay, so I would like to show you some other activity can do in the theme park. Okay, the link, if you refer to the notes, there's a link there. So you also can download yourself. You can click by yourself. Okay, this is the program, the educational program in Ocean Park in Hong Kong. Okay, they start from the kindergarten. Okay, kindergarten. Okay, as this is the ocean park, there's some starfish. Okay, fish. Okay, ocean creature like a dolphin and so on. They can have some activity with them. Okay, beside that, they can go to more understand about what is the panda life. Okay, beside this is the seal. Okay, for secondary, okay, they set the activity based on the level of the students. So we can have some liberal studies. Okay, liberal study, which is liberal study. Okay, the project I helping in is the physics emotion. Physics emotion. If you're interested, then you can click it. Okay, students go to attend this course is paid by themselves or by the school, but not very expensive because they are more to do some charity. the focus of the ocean part is they want student to learn in the community, not just learning the physics theory in the textbook. Okay, so this is the activity. Okay, first part, they have the briefing. For example, like what I'm saying, we cannot expect students know everything. So we need to give some briefing, some theoretical in before the activity start. If they are doing some related biology, they also have some theoretical in the lab first for briefing. Okay, after that, they experience the rice experience the animals. Okay, the animals, the fish, and so on. Okay, then they need to go back to the lab, one having the practical workshop. This is one of the example roller coaster to simulate what already happened. Okay, then student will need to present their work. This is the setting. So for your information, student, they need to pay 190, which is about 100 ringgit Malaysia. But if you go to the ocean park and play the game, okay, without using the student ticket, actually you need to pay about 400 something. 400 something, which means is 200 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, this is the activity conducted in ocean part. Okay, hopefully this give you some information. Okay, do you have any question before I go to the next part? Okay. Okay, next part is about student. Okay, what I've shown you previously is doing in the university level. Okay, doing for diploma student, for degree student. Now, actually, I already have several projects with school, which means that we're applying the innovative use of the free mobile apps for conducting the experiment. Okay, for example, this is the explanation, and then student doing some experiment, real life experiment. Okay, about magnet, about light. This one is not about light. This one is about heartbeat. Okay, at the right hand side, okay, this product I won the ITEX gold medal in 2018 for this free fall kit, using a smartphone, and then we do some free fall experiment. Okay, they can changing the weight, okay, changing the length of the pipe. Then they can moving up, changing the height of the pipe to obtain some data about the acceleration due to the gravity. Okay, beside that, I also have some collaboration with the ILP, Institute Latihan Perindustrian. Okay, this collaboration aims to help the student to further their study in TVET, to further study in the TVET. Okay, this project I received FRGS Racer grant from the KPT, which is the Higher Education Ministry. Okay, so this project I already at the last part now already waiting for the publication. And then we submit this project for ITEX 2021. So this year, hopefully they accept my idea and then give me the chance to go for the exhibition. Okay, you may view the movie using the YouTube, but now I show you here. Okay, this is the project I doing in school.
Malaysia, our exam-oriented curriculum leads the school lesson to a rushing situation as school teachers need to complete the packed syllabus. Due to this issue, schools may face difficulties to conduct a program for preparing students to further their study. Based on our previous project, we found that secondary school students need more hands-on activity and innovative STEM program for helping them to study and create awareness on their study path and career. Besides that, the conventional teaching and learning method cause low learning motivation among students as some science topics are challenging and difficult to visualize. As a solution, an innovative STEM program with study pathway awareness was designed for secondary school students, especially for Form 4 students and school leavers.
The STEM program is a package of lessons which included a virtual tour to Institute Latihan Perindustrian (ILP), which is a training institute, and the guided STEM activities with the application of educational technologies such as smartphone apps and virtual reality (VR). The guided STEM activities design integrated knowledge, skill, and value in the context of daily life, environment and local as well as global community.
Ini GRA lah dalam projek ini ya. Beliau adalah GRA dalam projek. Okay, sorry. This is my GRA, Graduate Research Assistant. Suddenly using Malay ya. Sorry. Okay, we will have some talk about the education, the school level where they can go for further their study.
Institut Latihan Perindustrian (ILP) or Industrial Training Institute (IPO) is founded in 1989. Offers a wide range of full-time and part-time courses to fulfill demand in the Malaysian industrial sector. Among offered technology-based courses are oil and gas metal structure fabrication technology, foundry technology, ceramic technology, welding technology, and air conditioning technology.
Students experience guided STEM activity and designing their own experiment. Guided STEM activity gives chances for students to perform the activity with the guidance by the facilitator. With the aid of a handphone, students will be able to explore phone sensors in studying the sound intensity and frequency. By experimenting different musical instruments, students can explore different sound intensity and frequency. Furthermore, by using the handphone, students are able to experiment the increasing of pulse rate when moving and exercising. Aid of activity manual, students can design their own experiment to strengthen their concepts understanding.
Okay, so for information, this is a researcher involved in this research. For example, our moderator, Dr. Suriya, also one of the researcher. At the last part, the voice is from her. Okay, so any question? Do you have any question? If you're interested to this project, you may ask me. Okay, ask me to do some project with the school. For example, I have the collaboration with the ILB. I will ask the staff from there, and then to go to the school, having the talks. during the talks we will have the awareness of how to further study in university, but in the university, and how to further study in ILP. Okay, ILP is more is a certificate. After that, have the diploma. After the diploma, they can go further study in the university, for example, UPSI. So this is an important pathway for, because students are not quite aware what are the university doing, what are the ILP doing. So we are going to promote in the school. So luckily we obtain some budget from the higher education ministry. Okay, beside that, we also, part of the main purpose of this research actually is we want to help the low and middle achiever. Okay, low and middle achiever, because in ILP, for your information, do some promotion. You know, your BM no need to pass. Okay, you no need to pass your BM. If you go to the university, you need to take the credit for Malays. But if you go to the ILP, you no need pass your no need to pass your Malays. You still can get the certificate. After that, further the diploma. And then they pay you, not you pay the fee. You no need to pay the fee, but they pay you back. They pay you for your allowance. So this is what I'm see is a very good point for helping the student. Okay, so I will continue. For the next one is the example of free mobile apps. Okay, so free mobile apps. Okay, we for example, as I mentioned in the early part, we have a light sensor. So what kind of experiment you can do? Okay, from here I mentioned you can measure and compare the intensity of different light sources. Okay, investigate the light intensity versus distance. Okay, this is a part of activity you can do. Okay, speaker. You can use the speaker to listen the different musical instrument. Okay, with different frequency, distinguish between the pitch and tone quality. Okay, because students are not clear how to differentiate what is a pitch and what is the frequency, what is the difference between them. So using this activity, they can know more about it. Find the hearing of the student, threshold hearing of the student, determine the velocity of sound. Okay, so if you refer my paper in 2014, I already done the experiment and they already published. Okay, so using the microphone, okay, analyze the beat of sound in order to find the shape, the frequency of the wave. We also can do some experiment like this. Okay, determine the velocity of sound. Okay, measure the intensity. Okay, which is related. Okay, beside that, I also ask students to do some sound pollution activity. This is related to biology. So they can use their smartphone as to detect the sound on the road. Okay, between the traffic. Okay, in playground, in the school area, and so on. So this one is replace the sensor they use. Okay. So we no need to purchase some we call it we can detect the decibel, right? But now we can use our smartphone to do the experiment. Okay, beside that, we can using the compass sensor, which is we can measure the direction of magnetic field. Okay, detect the hidden metal sources. If you maybe I don't put the video. Actually, we can detect the wire in the inside the wall. Okay, we can detect it. So to avoid that, when you hammer the nail in the wall, and then you avoid the injured, avoid the shock, electric shock. Okay, beside that, you also can learn to use the compass. Okay, if you're using the barometer or pressure sensor, you can find out their altitude and the location when they go for a field trip. I also do some experiment during the airplane flight, airplane takeoff. Okay, airplane takeoff, we also can use the pressure sensor, and then the airplane landing. Okay, we also can get the pressure sensor, which means we can apply the real life experiment. Okay, in our syllabus, in our school syllabus also. Not necessarily just doing the lab activity. Okay, 3D accelerometer, measure the acceleration as usual. Okay, measure the pulse. Okay, for example, the mechanism is using the camera and the light source, or we call flashlight. So to measure the pulse, okay, camera to creating time-lapse video such as plant growth, movement. Okay, we also can download certain apps. It will set for you, which is for example 3 minutes one shoot or 1 day a shoot. Also can. Beside that, we also can have some chemistry visualization, mercury in 3D. Okay, this is the example. Okay. At the left-hand side is the example. Okay, this is the related published journal. Okay, so have a theme park, have playground. Okay, have in lab. Okay, this is in the lab, which is innovative use of smartphone for sound resonance tube experiment. Okay, beside that, we also have the also related to sound, which is my Mod A physics master student published in this journal. Okay, beside that, I have a cooperation with a China student from mainland China. Okay, writing in Mandarin. So these two paper writing in Mandarin. This two paper is using the magnet sensor to detect the G. Okay. Beside that, I have the exhibition. Okay, many exhibition. For example, exhibition in Mampan, exhibition in UPSI. Okay, IPCSM. Okay, and then I also conduct the STEM aspiration in Asian economy as an invited speaker. Okay, I represent Malaysia in the 7 regions. Okay, after that, I also do this is simulation. Okay, simulation also invite me to go for the workshop. Okay, during the international conference, COSMAT. People call it COSMAT in 2017. Okay, and then I present the paper in Taiwan in 2019. Last 2 years before the lockdown. Before the lockdown, I have the chance go to the Taiwan and present. Okay, this is all my presentation. Thanks for taking time to listen my presentation. Okay, I give to Dr. Suriya.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. To. Thank you very much for an interesting and thought-provoking talk. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, you may unmute your microphone, or else you can type your question in the chat box. So Dr. To, while we are waiting for the question from our participants, I would like to ask you, so in this year, these 2 past years, basically we are having pandemic, and basically for school, they are conducting PDPR, learn from home, and also we also work from home right now. So do these apps suitable to be used for online distance learning?
Okay. For your information, definitely this is very suitable for use in we call home learning. Home learning for during the movement control order. Okay, as I show you these kinds of these free educational mobile apps. Actually, they just just download one time, which is they no need always online. Once they download it, okay, they can use it. Okay, can use it as a because using the built-in sensor to obtain the data. Okay. However, some of the apps you need to on your internet during for sending the data out, or you need to for example, like chemistry visualize, they are you need to online lah. We need to online to get the 3D, to create 3D model and so on. But if you're doing some using the built-in sensor, actually you only download one time and then you just give the activity to student and then student to conduct the experiment. But you must refer to the syllabus, refer to your school syllabus, which means we are not doing the some activity, we are not just refer to like exam oriented questions. Okay, we can do some experiment to make sure that to increase the student motivation. Even though I know at last maybe they don't get the very exact theoretical value, but at least they learn something. They learn what is the real life, what is happening in our real life. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. To. Dr. To, I get one question from the audience. So this question is prior to this seminar. So one of the participants asked us how to enhance our education system. So maybe by using this app, is it possible to enhance our education system? What do you think?
Okay, to enhance our educational system, we must see how to design, actually how to design and then how to apply. Okay, for example, how to enhance, we can set some SBA, which is school-based assessment, school-based assessment. For example, we can give them some activity, okay, to make sure that they can doing by their own, okay, doing by their own, because in our uh, area, okay, in our area we can do some experiment. For example, sound pollution, we can do some experiment in the playground, but as long as they need to follow the SOP lah, they need to clean up the location lah, bring the sanitizer and so on, or they can cycling. Okay, for example, they want to do some exercise cycling using this sensor. It's okay for them to do it. Once they based on the activity, they can do they can do the report. They can do the report to submit their SBA. Okay.
Okay. So I guess whenever we do more hands-on activity during learning, it's much be better for students, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, definitely. They at least they are more interested lah. They are more interested in learning science. For example, if we are just giving them some but I know some principle, okay, some science principle, they need to they cannot do the experiment during the MCO time. But at least we can give some others activity to alternate lah. That means it's alternate assessment or alternate way to let them to increase their interest in learning science.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. To.
Okay.
Dr. To, we have a few questions in the chat box.
Okay,
so
yes.
that one is from this one we have from Maizatu Najwa. So the question is, does the suggested apps are suitable to all ages? Can it also be applied by parents? So
Okay,
I think it's
okay.
more.
Yes, sure. Does it apply suitable to all ages? For example, during my I'm doing the experiment, okay, activity with the student. Actually, I ask them to go back, if you have chance, go back to do with your parents and do with your brother or siblings. Okay, for example, because for example, they want to test the habit, right? Okay, some of them during my activity in the classroom, some of them, if we want to just trick the student, for example, I turn on the heartbeat as a heartbeat sensor, and then ask student to hold on and present in front of the class. Okay, definitely you can detect the heartbeat will increase very highest, very high, because of the time presentation. Okay, this is a part of the psychology or something, but some of the students can control their EQ very good. So they can not control the heartbeat, not control the heartbeat. That means that they are well prepared. For students are well prepared, the heartbeat will become more stable. Okay, more stable. Okay, beside that, even though in the class, I ask all the students to test their heartbeat, but you will notice that some of the students, they born in very high heartbeat. Okay, they did not do anything, they already are more than 100. Okay, so based on this one, we also can suggest them to look for some treatment, to go have some tests, right? Or for this kind of student, you also don't affect them. Don't affect them. For example, don't do a spot quiz, or don't do shock suddenly make some special to this kind of student, because I afraid it will happen some heart attack right in the class, and then you will face the problem. Okay, this is it okay? Which means you can apply, and then definitely you can do some exercise with the parent and then test their heartbeat. It's no problem. Or doing some experiment like for example, if you use the pressure, then you ask a parent going higher places like second floor or third floor, okay, and then you are at the low floor, and then you can check the differences. Right. This. Okay.
So basically when the students also the experiments also include parents. So basically parents can do parental guidance, parental supervision
Yes,
on the children. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Dr. To, regarding these apps, there is one question here from Roslinda Mustafa. The question is, do you have any apps that can also be applied in the social science subjects?
Social science subject, social science, which mean social science, which one? Because social science is very broad, we call.
I'm not sure. Maybe in education field, maybe.
Okay, in educational field. Okay, in educational field, if you look at the apps, okay, if we are not going to focus on the free educational mobile apps for doing some scientific investigation, you can refer to the STEM program I did with the student, which is we are applying the VR. Okay, if social science, we can apply the VR. For example, VR, they want to know some, they can previously capture some photo. Okay, some very photo. For example, if you want psychology photo, then we can test it using the VR. Okay, so because the VR, we need to use the VR box, and then we need to put the smartphone in. Okay, however, now we only the Google already we already remove the apps, but you can apply other apps. For example, before this, I using the exhibition. Okay, exhibition. Now you can using the round me. For example, my GRA told me my GRA told me you can using the round me and other apps to replace to apply into apply the VR into the social science. Okay.
Okay. Another question from Yunus, Mr. Yunus bin Salman, Dr. Tu. He said archaeology with question mark here. I guess he wants to know.
Archaeology. Okay. When I go to Taiwan, and then I saw some experiment but they are using the VR. They are using the VR. That means we want students to learn the archaeology, but we cannot bring everyone go there, right? So they already go to the field trip, and then they play capture, and then they state the point. We call it point lah. Okay, this point. What is this point mentioned, right? So you can have some description to this point. Okay. Then go to the other site. Then they can have some information like that. Okay, this is a part of archaeology.
So basically, there are some apps that suitable for another field as well.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Beside that, what I want to apply is the free education mobile apps, right? But if you want to more advanced, we have the external sensor. But external sensor, you need to buy the external hardware. Okay. But the external hardware can communicate with your smartphone. Can communicate with the smartphone. So you can detect the carbon. You can detect the pH. You can detect other gases, right? So you also can find this kind of external sensor to do the experiment, because archaeology is I category it as a higher education. Maybe you can get some budget, okay, research grant, okay, then you can purchase some hardware to do the experiment. Okay.
Okay, so basically there are the apps.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the issue is money, is it?
Yes. So because my this webinar, I'm focused more on the school, which is we can apply in school, right? So I just mentioned what is the free education motion apps, mobile apps.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. To.
Yes.
Dr. To, we have another question here from Miss Ain Sharif. So she said that stated in the slide about learning environment. So the question is, what is the importance of learning environment for education and science investigation?
Oh, what is the important? Okay, important. If you refer to our textbook, we say textbook in school textbook, in primary school textbook, secondary school textbook, even in the university level. If you are studying in science field, for example, in science education, physics education, chemistry education, you must have the practical work. You must have the practical work or investigation, because we have allocate the marks here there. Okay. For example, before this, in school, we are conducting the PECA. We call it PECA, which is experiment assessment. Doing experiment assessment, but now they will go for paper 3, or which is doing experiment. So in future, maybe they can apply just using the smartphone, which is we can see the student, they have more mature thinking. They have the more mature thinking. They can have they know what is happening in our daily life. Okay, not necessarily just doing it. Okay. Yes, very important. Definitely, scientific investigation is very important in science, science learning.
So it is very important. I see. Okay, Dr. To.
Yes.
Another one question here in the chat box from Miss Nur Hafiza. So Miss Nur Hafiza asks, do you think it is suitable to embed music in higher education level? So maybe in university, I guess.
Yes. Okay. So this I think Dr. Kadri, student PM Dr. Kadri student have Anis from Indonesian student also do some experiment using the music. For example, they doing some kids for playing piano. Okay, playing piano. After that, we can from the piano music, then we can get the pitch and then get the frequency. Okay, this is definitely is very suitable to apply the music in higher education level. And then beside that, if you refer to the STEM, now they already become STEAM. STEAM, that means they put the A there, art. Okay, art also can be part of the STEM learning. Okay, so the art, they mention can be something very beautiful, okay, in very art. For example, they're using the light, okay. Beside that, the art also including the music. The music also can apply in the higher education.
Okay, so that is one way in strengthening our culture in our science education as well.
Yes, also the part of the daily life we call it a daily life science activity, right?
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Tu, and thank you very much for the questions given by participants. Participants, dear audience, if you have any question, feel free to unmute your microphone. Dr. Tu here, I have another one question given by the participants. So the question is by using apps in teaching and learning, is it can improve or can reduce social skills and communication skills for students?
Okay. Okay. This question is more to we can make it a more different perspective. We can look at a different perspective. For example, if you refer to my slide at the arrangement, we are trying to applying the student presentation. Okay, student presentation for sharing lah. That means student after they doing their own experiment, so we are not necessary to everyone doing the same activities. So they can have their own activity. After that, they present their own result. So this definitely can increase their communication skill. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so even though students use the mobile phone, so they still can improve their social skills and communication skills as well.
Yes. Because using this, once you obtain the data, you also need to share. Okay, you can share. Okay, you share the experimental data with your friends. Okay, this is one of the social skill. They can. For example, not everyone can go to fly, right? Like Asia say, right? Everyone can fly, right? So, for example, I obtain the data, but I want to share with my friends, so I can just forward it, right? Beside that, some very light trekking, jungle trekking, but you don't have chance to go to jungle trekking, so they can get the pleasure data and then also can get the wheel, the 3D, we call it a 360 wheel, right? To share with their friends or students.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. To. Thank you very much for all the enlightening answer from you. So it's already 4:14 p.m. So from the chat box,
Time's up, right? Time's up.
Time's up. Yes. There are no other questions in the chat box, and I don't receive any questions anymore in my WhatsApp also. So I guess Teto for the wonderful sharing, for a very informative and interesting talk from you. So ladies and gentlemen, um, I'm afraid that we are short of time to continue this session. So with all these questions and with all the thought-provoking sharing and answers from Dr. To, I guess we reached the end of our sharing session. Thank you very much for all the questions, and also thank you very much, Dr. To, for the answers from you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we end our webinar, once more, I invite all of you to on your camera so that we can have another one session, photography session with Dr. To here.
No problem. So I stop sharing, yeah?
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. To. And all other participants, please on your camera.
Okay, if you're interested to my project, you want to more information, okay, you can visit my website, and then or you want to give some more information, you also can email me. I can share my paper with you. Actually, from my website, I also have I already upload all of the information. So
Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, feel free to go to Dr. To's website. So if you have any question or if you are interested to do collaboration or to do some research
in
with
the
Dr. To,
photo section,
yes. Okay, so now we are going to take a photo. So everyone get ready in 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Another one. Wait, 1, 2, 3. One more. One, two, three. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you very much to all participants for your participation and also for your cooperation in to on your camera. So as they say, all good things must come to an end. With a heavy heart, I have to say that our global webinar education series has brought to a close end. I thank you very much for your attendance today. We hope that you have found this session informative and useful. We appreciate for your kind interest and participation. On behalf of the organizer, I would like to say thank you and hope to see you again. Thank you and goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.